Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful sunny day here in Guildford. Where are we going? We're going to one of your recommendations. Now, I've already been to this restaurant on 2 occasions and I found it a little bit of a rip-off, to be honest, a bit more style over substance. Where is it? It's the Ivy, but this one's a little bit different because it's the Ivy Asia. Now, they actually have loads of different cuisines here, from Indonesia, Chinese, Indian. It's got a whole range, it's got the whole mix in here. So I'm interested in having a real sample and seeing what it's all about. Some building works going on. I'm hoping it's not going to be too noisy. I was hoping to sit outside, but I think that's almost out of the question. As always, let's do some sunbathing. No. As always, let's give it a go. Come on. Be good this time. First things first, this is incredibly busy. Here at lunchtime, well, it's just packed. There's no word for it. It's absolutely packed. They've got another restaurant downstairs. I can't tell you how busy that one was, but outside they're drilling away. People are still sitting out there, but they're drilling away and working away. I was like, no, if I do that, you'll go absolutely mad. All the rest of it. Now, they have a full menu, but it's lunchtime, so I'm looking at their Dragon Set lunch menu, which is only $19.95. Now, it comes with crispy wontons and poppadom, and then you've got your starters, your mains. Now, I want to have a little bit of a selection there. That's great stuff, thank you. That's great. Thank you very much. So, I'm going to go for the prawn tempura, the teriyaki chicken. Now, I'm going to have them two as the starters, and then onto the main. I was actually going to go for the chickpea and pepper curry, but it comes with mushrooms, so my apologies. I wanted to try a vegetarian option, but that was taken out of my hands. I'm then going to go for the tiger prawn rangdang and the beef and pepper, salt and pepper beef. Now, you've got to pay a supplement for that. That's an extra £4.50. That also comes with steamed rice and wok fried greens. This is incredibly stylish in here. Staff are absolutely super attentive. There's lots of them as well. And it's all going on. This is one hell of a floor. I mean, if you take a look at this floor, wow, that is really going on. Very stylish, and they're all dressed up as well. So what's not to like? Please don't be style over substance. I'm really looking forward to it. So I want something really decent. I love the presentation on the table as well. I'll just put that down there. Got the drum kit here. So it'll be some water, beautiful napkins, the way they're all laid out as well. So that's going to go down there. And let's pour some of this out here. Yes, some soy there. So I'm getting so prepared. It's untrue. I'm way ahead of the game. I might as well go to the gym and all the rest of it. Background music, not too bad. And I actually got a lovely seat looking at the castle as well. So all in all, no complaints whatsoever. Cheers. Here we go. My only slight concern, it only took about 5 minutes to come up. But most people will be complaining because if you're here on your lunch break, they'll be saying, oh, it took forever. Got the teriyaki chicken straight here. Very sticky sauce all around that. Got some chives on there as well. Then you've got the tempura prawns here, the sweet chili and ginger dip. I see some ginger going on in there. One thing which I haven't mentioned, we have our little selection over here. I'll come back to them a little bit later. Don't want these to go cold. Let's dive straight in. I'm just going to use my fingers on this one. Teriyaki sauce with that is quite light. If you take a look, there's not an huge amount of dusting on there of that, but that's added a pleasant sweetness, and it's not overpowering. Chopsticks coming out. little bit of expertise coming in here. I am absolutely hopeless with them. That is actually quite pleasant. It's not groundbreaking in any shape or form. It's not unpleasant. It's not amazing. It is just pleasant, and that's good enough. You know, if it's something pleasant and it's not unpleasant, then you can't complain. Over half. So we have the prawn in the tempura. So the batter should be really light, fluffy, and golden. Now, that in all honesty is quite bland. It needs a little bit of help with it. So let's dip it in this. It's very light. They're okay. They're not quite even like Iceland's, going to Iceland's and make them up yourself, but they are, well, that is lacking. First thing first, there's hardly any flavour with that whatsoever. Quite a few are going to say, Gary, you're double dipped. Well, I haven't. I've treble dipped there. Cameraman's not actually trying them. I've got a tiny hint of ginger. And I mean the tiniest hint of ginger. But there's almost nothing else going on with it. Portion-wise, 4 of them, no complaints. Well, it's arrived, and one thing I will say, it is incredibly appealing on the eye. That is salt and pepper beef. Take a look at this guy over here. Now that looks great. That's the tiger prawn rendang, Indonesian spiced curry. Everything going on in there. Let me just see what kind of a... Not getting an awful lot of aroma from that. Presentation wise though, there as well, looks good. You've got the plain rice underneath. You've got some vegetables going on top. Let's just put that down there. Enough just to try this. Now, first impressions on this sauce, and I'm sorry to keep moving it around and all the rest of it, but some of this here looks a little bit on the thin side. And then we come around this side, and it's a lot thicker. It needs a proper mix-up. Guys in the kitchen, proper mix-up required, please. Let's dive in here. Let's get it all going on. A bit more of the sauce. So I want to get a real nice flavour of lemongrass and some turmeric as well. It's not going to be easy. We'll try it with the prawn. There's a tiny bit of background spice. Yeah, and taste some lemongrass as well. But that's bland. That's very bland. I'm going to go in again, but my very first impression is it is incredibly bland. Now I've got a bit of ginger. The prawn is soft, but the first impression I had there, presentation on the eye, looked really fantastic. But then what worried me was the lack of aroma that's coming out there. And that is a major issue. Because with the lack of aroma, there's also a major lack of flavour. And that is what's happened, a lack of flavour. I'm going to do this, and I'll come over to this guy. Please have some flavour. You're one of my favourites of all time. So are you, in fairness. So take a look at this. That is a picture on a plate. That is the beef steak. You've got the pink peppercorns on top. Obviously it's salt. It's got a little bit of charring there. But it hasn't got much of a sear. They didn't ask me how I wanted it. It's come as it's come. Pull it up. It's cooked medium. I'm going to get a smaller piece here because I haven't got a knife and fork. So let's see what it tastes like. Having a smashing time in the corner over there. Yeah. It's not super tender, but it's not over the top tough. So please don't get that impression. But those peppercorns, zing, they give you a burst in your mouth. It's worth paying that extra supplement because you've got to pay an additional £4.50 for this. Let's try it in here with this sauce. The saucy kind of salt. I've overdone that, I think. Now, I'll take a close up in here. That's got the five spice sauce mix in there. And that has completely overpowered and taken over all the flavour of that steak. And I mean, that's all I'm tasting. That is completely all I'm tasting. The steak itself, that stands on its own 2 feet. It doesn't need any additions. It doesn't need any help. Don't bother with that. You are pointless. Actually quite nice, but you are pointless. Overall, just come in if you're ordering this and enjoy the saltiness which is there, the pepperiness with them pink peppercorns, and just come in and enjoy that. Don't bother with the sauce, that's pointless. Before I go, but actually have some pak choy. Bland. No flavour. That is incredibly bland. No good. What do I think? I'm not convinced I want a donut because, in fairness, I think the donut might be a bit bland as well. For dessert, presentation-wise, it's all there. It's a beautiful restaurant. The staff are super attentive. It's all there. But what is lacking is the real fundamental flavours. If I didn't know better, my first impression on that was the aroma was completely lacking. Then when I looked at it, the first half of it was incredibly thin. And then when I showed the other half, that was thick. I would reckon that has actually come out of a ball in the bag. You know, it's gone into a microwave or something. They cut it open, they've poured it in there, and they failed to mix the whole thing up. Hence the reason why one side was watery and the other side was thick. But even when you mixed it all together, it still lacked in all the flavour. Yeah, style over substance. I think it could be. Do you know, sir, I'm not even convinced I want a dessert. No, I'm not convinced. If I get a dessert, I'll let you know. If I don't get dessert, I'll see you outside when I've paid the bill. Do you like you, though? As you guess, I didn't bother with the dessert at all. What do I think of the Ivy Asia? Well, the restaurant itself, some people might say it's absolutely gorgeous. Some people might say it's a bit tacky. I just thought it was very nice. It was okay. What was excellent in there was the service. And I want to come back to that. There's a real major point here. The food. Now, you've got to bear in mind, set menu, 2 people, £40. So what you saw and what I had was £40 for 2 people. The overriding word I'm going to use is it was bland. There was very little flavours all the way through. It didn't blow me away, and I was kind of like hoping that it would in some shape or form. And I hate to say it, but my first impression when it came to that rendang was it's come out of a packet, and it had, and I'll come to that point in a second. It wasn't mixed properly, and it's just garnished in the kitchen and all the rest of it. But you've got to bear in mind it's only £40 for 2 people for all them courses. So, you know, looking value-wise, I think that's pretty good value. I'm going to go on to the bill. And so many of you turn around and say, Gary, you never complain. I do often complain and I let the people know who's serving, yeah, I didn't really enjoy that and all the rest of it. And this is where the customer service element was absolutely top. I need everyone to know this, okay? When the chap came over, I mentioned to him that the rendang was lacking in flavour and all the rest of it. He said, really, really sorry about that. Is there anything we can do? Can we replace it? All the rest of it. I said, no, that's absolutely great. So here's my bill. For the 2 Dragon lunch set menu, £39.90. They then had that supplement of £4.50 on top. Then he turned around and gave me a £24.20 discount. So £23.50 in total. So what he discounted was actually not what I wasn't happy with. He actually discounted the more expensive meal, and that was the steak with that supplement in there. That was brilliant customer service. I did not ask for that. I just merely said to him that was lacking in flavour, and I said to him, do they cook it fresh in the kitchen? And he said, no, we actually get the sauces and then we add everything into it and all the rest of it. That's how I can confirm that I was right, but I said it in the restaurant. That customer service element, bang. If you're never happy in the restaurant, please tell them, because you never know. That's what they might do for you as well. In fairness, that's what they should do for you. But that I thought was excellent. What marks going to give it? Well, it wasn't unpleasant, the meal. It was just lacking. I was actually giving it a 6 out of 10. And yeah, I'm a little bit gobsmacked here now, because I can't really give it a 6 out of 10, because that customer service element was astoundingly brilliant. So I'm going to elevate it to a 7 out of 10. It just needed a little bit of help, and they acknowledged that. So fair play to them, and that was brilliant. Well done to the manager, well done to the staff there, and thank you very much. And you guys, if you're not happy, you say it. You tell them. What am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe to the channel, because I always appreciate that. And then take a look over here. I'm the king of the castle, and I'm the dirty rascal. See you next time. I'm going to have a wander around. Come on then. Welcome to Guildford Castle. Adult £5, children £2.50. So for me and you, it's £7.50. Come on.